Good morning, Rhonda. Do I have the echo today? So can you guys hear me this morning? I'm testing this microphone again. I think I've got it right this morning, but I am not positive. So can you hear me? I know Rhonda's watching. I don't know if anybody else is watching, but yep, you can hear me. It sounds good. All right, well, I'm assuming you can hear me well and that we're working this morning. I think I figured out my problem with my external mic, so hopefully this will work better, especially when I'm traveling, because then I can set the phone up like I did last year in Sturgis and be able to sit further away and you still be able to hear me. So reverb is still there. Okay, that's frustrating. Give me a second, guys. I'll figure out how to fix that. So. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm sure you can hear me now. So I apologize for that horrible workaround that's not working. Whenever we try to come up with new solutions, sometimes you got to work out the kinks, and it happens. But I'm sure you can hear me now. I'm back to the microphone on the phone. I'm really frustrated right now that we've got a reverb problem with this, and I'm going to have to figure out what that is. But please forgive me for that. I know it took over 3 minutes to get here, and so I am really, really sorry for that. For all of you that are catching me live right now, glad you're here. Glad you didn't go through the mess that was there before. For those of you that had to sit through this after you caught me later, please forgive me. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating that the mic isn't working, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, it is February 16th, 2024, and we are going to look at Proverbs chapter 16 today. Let's get over ourselves. Specifically, I need to get over myself and my frustration with technology and get into the one thing that never changes, and that is my God and His Word. The one thing that never changes, no matter what frustration comes at me, whatever spin I put on life, and I've been doing that all morning long, running 1,000 circles, trying to figure out what's the next thing to do after I do this thing that I'm doing right now instead of doing the thing I'm doing right now. Side note, maybe I teach this today, I don't know. Have you ever realized that if you just do what you're doing right now without worrying about what you're going to do next, you get a lot more done than if you're always worrying about what the next thing is going to be after you finish what you're doing? Because you're so much slower and less precise in the thing you're doing if you're not focused completely on it. And that's a great lesson when it comes to how you focus on the Lord as well. In the moment, are you focused on God? Are you worried about the next thing? I know it doesn't make any sense, but I've proved it time and 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 time again in my life, and I could keep going. If I'm focused on the one thing that's right in front of me, I will get more done than if I'm worried about that next thing. And so that's just a side note for today. Proverbs 16, verse 2. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord evaluates the motives. In Proverbs 16:25, there is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end leads to death or destruction, despair. When we're focused on that thing right there in front of us and not worrying about all the other stuff, God can evaluate our motives and move us towards that purpose that we've got. We move to the purpose because we do the thing right in front of us. This went completely different than I expected it to, but it is a great point. There's a way that seems right to a man. I can do this thing, and I can plan for the next thing too, and that'll get me ahead because I'll know what I'm going to do next. There's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, it leads to disaster. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord evaluates the motives. And the reality is, if we don't have God first and we're not really focused on Him, that next thing that we're worried about, that's what we're worshiping. That is a revelation that I got to continually work on because it is frustrating to me. But the reality is, it's true. If I'm present with the Lord right now in the task that I'm doing, that's when the Lord knows that I am pleasing Him, that I am focused on Him. And I accomplish so much more when I do that. I want you to have success today. And the way you do it is worship the Lord. If you're thinking about that next thing, I want the Holy Spirit to remind you today that a quick glimpse of where the future is to make sure that you're heading in the right direction is fine. But when you're fixating on it, you're actually worshiping it instead of worshiping the God of the now. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.